Just open your third on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to you and yours, peace to the family, peace to you and yours, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Know the Ledger 444. And this is your host, Brother Red Pillar, reporting live and direct. Let me know how we sounding on the audio, please. Please let me know how we sounding on the audio, please. Yeah, they said run that joint back. Yeah, I'm talking about. We'll get to it in the middle of the show. We got you. You know what I mean? Song is infectious. We understand the just the frequency on that cosmic soul it does something. I literally can't start these shows off without the sound effects. I mean, I don't even need sound effects. I got the soundtrack. You know what I'm talking about? I need that. It just makes everything more, you know what I mean? It just makes everything more thoughtful. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building tonight. Yeah, let's take the electoral vote. Let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's tapped in. Okay. We got South Carolina, the Gullah Geechee in the building. You know what I'm talking about? We got the Gullah Geechee in the building. We have our good people in Hollywood, California tapping in. We got Connecticut in the building. We got Colorado, Phoenix, Gwinnett County, New Orleans. We got Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm talking about? Portland, Oregon in the building. All right. We got Chicago. We got San Jose. We got Spartanburg. We got New Orleans, Columbus. We got Geneva in the building, ATL in the building, Chino Hills, Durham in the building, Sacramento in the building. We got Tampa, Florida, Ireland, Baton Rouge, New Zealand. Shout out to everybody tapping in from all corners of the earth right now. Mississippi in the building, Baton Rouge in the building, Tuscaloosa in the building, Ireland in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Columbus, Ohio in the building, Daytona Beach, Florida, Dallas, Texas, the Virgin Islands, Belize is in the building, Houston by way of Norfolk is in the building. You know what I'm talking about? St. Mary, Jamaica is in the building. We are covered. We worldwide. We outside. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for pulling up. Arizona, we see you. T. Toronto, we see you. Peace to Connecticut. You know what I mean? We see you in the building. Bridgeport family in the house. So tonight is a special episode, right? You know, we had to come on and talk our talk, right? Because I was like, I was gonna wait till Thursday, but we can't do that. I owe my KT aliens more than that. We literally we should be live every night, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? That's really you know, that's an executive decision that we may have to make moving forward and whatnot. But we here tonight. That's all I know. We here tonight. I would have wanted to go live with you in real time last night during the whole thing, but I said to myself, nah, I'm good. I'm not finna do that because I ain't about to start playing with people's emotions and their time. You feel me? And I was like, I'm watching the season finale like everybody else. We not gonna have a watch party. We just gonna sit back and do the season finale. And to be honest with you, I went to sleep. You know when I went to sleep? I was in the lab. I was taking notes. You feel me? I was following the theater or the season finale of Americana. I was following it. And then I looked up and the shit was neck and neck. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Detroit. What up, though? It was neck and neck. And I said, I'm taking my ass to sleep because last time I looked up, Donald Trump was in the lead. He was like 100 points ahead. Then I looked up and it was neck and neck. I was like, you know what I'm not about to do? I'm not about to play this emotional roller coaster ride with these people. I'm going to wake up to whoever the quote unquote winner is. And I did my prayer. It was my multidimensional paradigm shift prayer. And I put it to the universe because people were asking me, did I vote? Yeah, I voted on the astral realm. I did the big vote. You know what I'm talking about? I pulled the big lever and I said, this is the reality that I want to wake up in. Okay? Because I was told that I am responsible for my reality, right? So as a result of being told that, you know what I'm saying? I had to say, I'm going to implement my reality and I'm not going to wake up to a reality that is one that I did not implement. So I went ahead and I implemented the reality and I woke up in that world. Okay. And you know, here we are. We are here. Last time I checked, I was listening to a website where they listen to police scanners. There's no riots, no burning buildings. I haven't heard of any lynchings. There's no riots. There's no none of these things that was told to me would be happening, right? It was sold to me by the media. You know what I mean? None of these things have actually happened yet. So that's just for the record. But I said to myself, nah, we finna wrap this one up, you know what I mean? Because it's time to move forward. Remember the 5th of November. Yesterday happens to be Guy Fawkes Day, coincidentally. And you know, and it delivered. I would definitely say season finale of, you know, the shit show. It definitely delivered. It definitely delivered. You know, one of the co-stars was a no-show at the end. We got to talk about that. They didn't even show up to the end, the last scene and whatnot. But hey, you know, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, we outside. We outside. Before we even begin, okay, Crump was doing it live. Dope. I was looking for somebody that was doing it live that I could have just basically tapped in with. I didn't even see nothing on my timeline. They might have been hiding things. You know what I mean? But I would have tapped in. Before I begin, and you know, because I did you know, I did a presentation and we put slides on the table. Before I begin, I want to know from the audience, the KT aliens out there, what's popping? Give me a 1 if you good right now. Give me a 1 if you okay. Give me a 1 if you Liddy in your committee. Give me a 2 if you hate it here. Because I'm not going to lie. I did a few posts today. They went viral and whatnot, but people went violent. They went violent in my DMs. I got called every name in the book, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm not going to repeat. According to certain people, I eat children and I'm trisexual. You know what I'm saying? I got mad DMs and it was part of the psychosis that's taking place. And it's okay because this is what, you know, we put ourselves out there and real talk, people who I thought that I knew, they hopped out, they showed themselves, you know what I mean? They popped out, you know what I mean? Like frogs do when you like snakes do when you cut the grass. It was some fucking crash outs taking place on the internet right now. But press a 1 if you good. Press a 1 if you good. Because I'm good. I'm good. I was able to sit back and say to myself, damn, just look at the shit that's going on. Look at the nasty things that people are saying. You feel me? Look at that. Look at all of the stuff. Look at the fact that this person didn't even have the caucasity to stand up there and concede their defeat. She went to sleep, y'all. She went to bed early and whatnot. She didn't even concede defeat. No man or no politicians, from what I remember, because I've been doing this for a minute with these politicians, I don't remember that really ever happening. You feel me? That could only mean one thing, that the emotions were so uncontrollable that she could not get in front of the world and whatnot. Somebody said she ran on the plug. Okay, Hillary did the same thing, right? Hillary went to bed early. How, Sway? How you gonna run the country if you can't even take the L with a smiling face? This is politics. This is politics. Yeah, Trump didn't concede. He started a riot. Okay. He did some real other shit. But he's been locked up. He's been allegedly shot. He's been locked a few times. He's been bankrupt. There's a lot of shit that happened, and he kept his face. You feel me? He didn't go crying in a Hyundai. You feel me? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Somebody said that she was sleeping with Biden. So a lot of people press 1 when I said, how's the KTLians doing and whatnot? It was a resounding ones. So our job is done. And this, our season ended the way that we knew it was going to end, right? The season finale of this shit show, it ended the way that we predicted it, okay? It ended the way that we predicted it. You know, we know that we good. You know what I'm talking about? We know that we are right. We know that nobody is out here that's gonna save us but us any damn way. So we all right. We Gucci. Okay. Before I move forward, I do have to say the disclaimer, right? I have to utilize a disclaimer, and this is coming from the compassionate part of me. If there are any melanated women, right? Not even melanated women, sisters, because we got to be careful when we say that these days, right? Because POCs, melanated women, and sisters, they have their own specific category. Now we know this because she's a melanated woman. She is a melanated woman, right? Miss Kamala, right? She's not considered to be a sister because I'm just not going to get into it. But for the sisters out there who may be feeling scared, fearful, upset, and, you know, just downright exhausted because this thing pulled on your energy, right? Remember, we said that her base, and you saw it in the exit poll. It's not what I said. It showed up in the exit poll. The base demographic that she was pitching to, although she may not be of that base, she honed in on the base the same way that Barack Obama honed in on the base that you know, that you said that he doesn't belong to. But her base was Black women, melanated women, sisters and whatnot. And that is who they put in the ring. That's whose energy that they were pulling off from. That is the battery that they use to charge up this machine, right? For this run, okay? Whatever they call the Democratic machine, whatever that was, the battery that was charging that machine was plugged into the hearts and the minds of melanated women post Joe Biden dropping out. And as we can see, you thought it was all women, like white women, right? White women and white women. What happened with white women? They did a switcheroo, a bait and switch on you. You feel me? They did a bait and switch. And when you wasn't looking at whatnot, they pulled the lever and went red. Look at the map. Look at the map. So That's just my disclaimer. You feel me? Because I'm just, you know what I mean. I don't want nobody to think that I'm gloating. I don't think anybody wants to. I don't want nobody to feel like I am being gender specific. Okay, because we're not going to use words like the B word. We're not going to dig into all of that stuff tonight. We're just going to give the unadulterated truth as to what took place that we all had witnessed. You know what I mean? Over the past few months and whatnot. Okay. So we might as well get right into it, right? Let's get right into it. November is here. Let's keep this in mind. November is here, right? And November, even if it was not an election, this quote unquote calendar year, but it just so happens that it was an election, and this election helped to change reality as we know it, because there were two realities that would have came about based off of what took place yesterday. This, in my humble opinion, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, this was one of the most emotionally charged election cycles that I could remember in my memory. Said the money woke up last night, all markets. And I'm going to explain what currency is. And I've been talking about it already over the past few shows. There was a current that came online because Donald Trump, the idea of Donald Trump, the energy that Donald Trump brings, he brings a current, and that current translates to currency, right? That current translates to currency. Henceforth, while the whole crypto market woke up and went crazy, Bitcoin is at 75K and climbing. The damn shit coins came alive. Dogecoin went crazy. Huh? So he's bringing a certain type of current back. And that current that's returning is going to create currency. The same way that a young thug is bringing a current back, even the same way that a big meech is coming back to bring a certain current to what they call the streets or the culture and whatnot. You feel me? This is what certain people represent. That is, don't be mad at me. And I told y'all that we in a villain era. Okay. And I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to be on some, but look, just pay attention to how things are shifting, right? November is about end times energy, end time energy, and new beginnings. If you ask me, after what we saw last night, how is a Democrat ever going to get in the quote unquote seat, if there's even a seat after Homelander removes himself? You know what I mean? After Emperor Trump, and he's gonna give it to Barron or somebody next. After Emperor Trump, there might not even be an election anymore. So end times energy also ties into a biblical narrative that we've covered on previous shows that spoke about the biblical implications of what he means to the evangelical base of Christians who literally have the power, the prestige, the money, the lobbying power to make biblical end time prophecies come to life in the real world. They can manipulate conflicts, they can manipulate wars, they can manipulate a lot of things, and they are focused on this whole thing about their Messiah. This whole thing about the coming of the second of the Messiah and things of that nature. That is what the Christian Zionists are locked into. That is what the evangelical Christians are locked into. And these are the people that are in power, right? So if you want to talk power and politics and things of that nature, you got to talk about what the people who are in power and in politics, what are their world views? What are their world views? Okay. What are their world views? Because that will begin to tell you where things are headed and why things are moving in the way that they're moving before. I remember saying it that I was like, yo, Trump is going to win. The fact that he didn't do 2 consecutive terms, right? And he was, you know what I mean? That allowed certain things to fall into place the way that they're falling into the place, so he could come in this second term and do exactly what he's doing. If he did 2 terms straight, he would not been able to do the things that he eventually will wind up doing, or actually has already started, because they basically gave him diplomatic immunity. The Supreme Court basically covered him to really get on some emperor shit. I mean, you know, we covered this already. This happened earlier in the campaign, and you'll see it take effect even before the inauguration. But November, new beginnings, right? New paradigms, right? Yeah, somebody said Biff, new paradigms. A new paradigm. We woke up in a new paradigm today. How do I know? Because if Kamala would have won, and I want my audience to be interactive with me, press 1. That if Kamala would have won, if you would have woke up to a Kamala Harris administration in a Kamala Harris universe, would the Republicans and all of these people be going as crazy as the Democrats are going right now? Press 1 if you agree, press 2 if you don't agree. Would it be a more unstable reality than the reality that you're in right now? What I do know is it would not have been the same reality. Something different would have came online. There would have been a different energy that would have went forward. We would have been in a different type of dimensionality. So we woke up in this other reality, or this alternative reality, where Donald Trump won the election. Please understand that there's some people that you may know who woke up in a reality where she won the election, right? But here we are in this reality, and I'm good with this reality. You understand? I'm very comfortable in this reality. You know, not seeing Kamala crying to the Tupac, not seeing Kamala crip walking and crying to a Tupac song with Doug. You know, that is something that I would have wanted to see. However, I could wait 8 more years to see that. Okay, I'm patient. Patience is a virtue, right? The celebrities, we're going to talk about them as we move forward. All right. One of the biggest L's, one of the biggest L's, one of the biggest spells, one of the biggest spells that got broken this election cycle, the same way like 2024, right? On some Cat Williams effect type of time. This election cycle broke spells. This election cycle broke spells. This election cycle helped people to wake up and see things for what they probably never saw them for. Maybe we saw it and whatnot, but people's eyes have been open. And I promise you, the blowback and the backlash is even going to be more severe than the loss. The blowback and the backlash, right? Because they writing, I read 20 thought pieces today already. They got it's thought pieces galore coming out. Everybody is saying, what the fuck were we thinking? You know what I'm talking about? They are going to eviscerate the Democratic Party. They're going to publicly flog all of the Biden sexuals, right? All of these quote unquote black men, the you know, the niggas from the Zest Fest, okay, who were shills and attacked healthy, melanated, heterosexual, vaccine-free black men who decided that they were going to withhold their quote-unquote vote and vote more into the spirit realm. They tried to attack them. They're the same people that tried to attack us when we said that we weren't going to poison ourselves with the Jabberwocky. They're the same people who said that we wasn't going to poison ourselves with the quote-unquote everything else that they've been trying to poison us with, man. So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. That the shit backfired on them, and the backfire is going to be more severe than the front fire. Oh, you rather get paid up front and not on the back end because that back end is going to tear your back up. Pause. You know what I'm talking about? That back end going to burn you up because she couldn't even come out for her perp walk, man. What does that say? What a way to end the season finale. And like I said, you feel me? I'm not even going to lean heavy-handed on the system, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not even going to lean heavy-handed. She getting dog walked enough on the internet. You know what I mean? I don't kick people. I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully. You know? Yeah, she didn't show up for her defeat speech. I needed to see mascara running. You feel me? I needed to see snot bubbles and everything. Let me know that you do snot bubbles. That I would have felt more humanistic with her. You know what I'm talking about? You know, a real sister, not a person of color, a sister gonna come out with lumps on her and everything, and she gonna be like, yeah, you know, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be like, she, you know what I'm saying? She gonna be like the girl that got beat up by Sharkeisha. I'll be back. I'll be back. You know, snot bubbles and everything. But she's going to connect with the audience. You feel me? That's not what she did. Even Cardi B showed up with the knot on her head. She didn't want to do that. She could have had Doug holding her up while she just was like, you know, it was neck and neck. I mean, it was neck and neck. Last time I checked, it was neck and neck. Yeah, she didn't give a shit. She went to Chase Bank, man. She, you know what I mean? Her and Doug was running up that bag. You know what I'm talking about? She didn't spend all of that money that she raised. A good Billy. You feel me? She was on chasebank.com moving shit, transferring funds, my nigga, before the account closed at 12 a.m. God damn, yeah. She was unburdened by what has been. You know what I mean? Yeah, she ran on the plug. God damn it. You know she ran on the plug. They had a whole bag in the room. She was supposed to come out with bricks and whatnot. She was supposed to come out four pockets full, and she ran with that plug. They paid her for a walkthrough, and she ran on Howard, on your alumni. You ran on the alumni. You can't even go back to the fucking you can't go back to the 15 year and you can't go to the reunion, sis. You ran. Like Carrie, you ran at the prom, sis. Like, how you gonna do that? At least get beat with your alumni around. They gonna help you heal you up. You cut out the back door with Doug. You went to bed early, took some melatonin, and you was out. You was like, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna rub on this genie and wake up in a new reality in a man. Dog, fix it, dog. Let me go. I'm going to sleep, dog. When I wake up, I need to be president. Fix it, dog. Yeah, she was out. I don't think she had the speech written. That's what it was. The arrogance, the caucasity of the campaign. They had her gassed up that she was gonna win. Didn't even write a concession speech. Literally. Because she didn't earn the nomination, the fact that she didn't do the defeat conceding speech, it showed how much did she really care. That alone shows the world that they dodged a bullet. Let's just use simple logic. That one gesture is how the whole season ended in a nutshell. And she showed the world what kind of bullet did they dodge. I'm not here to judge nobody's character, but it says it right there. Nobody stopped her from not coming out but her. That's nothing that your team couldn't stop you. George Soros couldn't stop you. You the only one that could have stopped yourself from coming out there. You did not come out there because your face and the neck was gone. Okay? So it was a nail biter, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, let me tell you, I went through a whole bottle of good wine. You know what I'm talking about? Every other minute, I'm refreshing the gram and whatnot, and I'm seeing the updates. Oh, she's taking this state. Oh, she's up certain electorate. Oh, Donald Trump won canvas in Iowa, the breadbasket. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So I'm, literally I'm on Poly Market, you know what I'm saying, running it up. You know what I'm talking about? Running up the back, seeing how many of the motherfucking the bets was hitting and whatnot. And I was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? But I knew after a while, just looking at the numbers, I knew. And I know how the Democrats, they always come in at 11 o'clock. I remember when Obama was out there whooping ass and whatnot. They would give you the late count. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it, right? They would have our people down and whatnot. And towards the last few laps, grease lightning. You know what I'm talking about? They start taking the lead and eating food and whatnot. That's not what was happening with her, though. That's not. And then she took a miraculous lead, though. She took a leap of faith, like around midnight. And I was like, let me put myself to sleep. I self-medicated and went to bed. You know what I'm talking about? Because I already knew what it was. I felt the energy. I said, nah, Donald's going to smack her. He got this one in the bag, baby. You know what I'm talking about? He was in the lead the whole night. And then they were neck and neck. And I just was like, that was somebody playing a cruel joke, neck and neck. And on Poly Market, it already showed. But then boom, I seen a map and I was like, damn, who spilled the ketchup? You know what I'm talking about? And look at these people. You know what I'm saying? A different type of devotion, I would say. A different type of devotion. The Indians didn't show up for Punjabith. They didn't show up for honey. No, they didn't. They did not. We got the numbers. We got the exit polls. Look at this shit right here, right? So the great white hope, right, is giving these pale people fucking hope, man. You know what I mean? This is not something that Kamala had with her. Don't let nobody fool you, my niggas. It was a landslide. Okay? This was a bloodbath. You understand? This was a bloodbath. They're gonna put books out on the think pieces, the way they're gonna try to dismantle all of the shit that went wrong or all of the things that didn't happen. Meg the Stallion and Glorilla, they got a fucking page in history. And I promise you, my niggas, it's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be proud of. You know what I'm talking about? Don't let Tory Lanez come home. Don't let young Tory come home. So check this out. For many Republicans, Trump's near miss signals God is involved. 80% of the people screaming for Kamala hit the boot and voted for Trump. You know how many switch-siders it was? You know how many switch-siders they said it was at the booths where they was just switching sides and whatnot? It was crazy. The type of backdooring and double crossing was taking place in them booths. City girls down bad, right? So you have a city girl candidate, and like I said, you can't sleep on the powers of the city girls. You know what I'm talking about? They could get some things done, but they didn't have the collective force to fuck with this dude right here who's been anointed by the far right, who's been anointed by the evangelicals, who's been anointed by the quote unquote, these, you know what I mean? He got large numbers. He got large numbers, and he plays to this base in ways that I haven't seen too many other people play to the base. He plays to them, you know what I mean? He plays to them expertly. He plays to them expertly. So do not get uncomfortable when you begin to see this cult-like, quote-unquote, devotion roll out and become a global type of thing. Very dangerous, very powerful, very influential man right here who's only going to turn it up a notch. Who's only going to turn it up a notch. You know? Who's only going to turn it up a notch. So this was again the presidential, this was the rundowns. You know, these are just different times of the night, and then boom, it came in. Make Kamala Indian again. You know what I'm talking about? This is the merch that Candace Owens is them. They pushing make Kamala Indian again. Make Kamala Indian again. We don't want her in a delegation. You know what I'm saying? You know, the aunties are ready to trade her for some bundles. You know what I'm talking about? They about to send her back for some bundles because, you know, she let down the sisters. You know what I mean? So these are the numbers by the colors. You look at all that red. You know what I'm talking about? Look like a Cardi, a Playboy Cardi. All that red. All red. You know what I mean? A lot of red. Whole lot of red. A whole lot of red. So
Donald Trump has won a second term as U.S. president. Here's how election night went down. Polls showed his race against Vice President Kamala Harris as a coin toss, but as polling places closed and results started trickling in, it was clear by Tuesday night that Trump had won the two battleground states of North Carolina and Georgia. Early exit polling from several outlets showed Trump overperforming among Black and Latino voters and enjoying higher turnout among rural voters. Trump's efforts to increase the turnout among occasional low-propensity voters and young men also helped him on election night. Exit polling also suggested that voters remain frustrated with the economy and the cost of living. And by 12:30 a.m., he was leading across many of the battleground states with a growing margin. Trump was on the cusp of victory by the time he gave remarks early Wednesday morning, having won Pennsylvania, a race that was seen as critical for electoral victory that was expected to be exceedingly close and take quite some time to call. By 5 a.m., most major outlets called the race for Trump. Republicans had also assumed control of the Senate. Party leadership of the House was still uncertain, dangling the possibility of a red wave election in 2024.
they took the House, they took the Senate, they took the Supreme Court, and they took the White House. You feel me? They took all of these things for the next 4 years. Okay? So that translates to whatever he wants to do in his quote unquote changing his vast changing of this government from a democracy into an authoritarian regime. Yeah. It's going to be able to do that with not a lot of resistance. Understand? He's going to be able to do that with not a lot of resistance. He's going to go crazy in these next 4 years. You understand? He's going to go fucking bonkers in the next 4 years. Steve Bannon, he got Steve Bannon going stupid. And remember, Steve Bannon is the war horse. He's like the pit bull. He got all of these people going crazy and whatnot. So you always keep that in mind, right? But it's nothing to be intimidated. It's nothing to be intimidated because you don't have nothing to do with that.
You're fired. Get out. Get out. You're fired.
Yeah, he started on her. He started on her, you know, and you know the exit polls, they showed a resounding turnout. These are the faces of some of the Kamala's fans, the Democrats who bought in once again. Now, look at this picture right here. Looking at these these 4 examples of Europeans, these 5 people that you see that are visible in this picture. To your far left, right, the white man with his shirt open, right, looking down. Looks like a Midwesterner, you know what I mean? Young white dude and whatnot. He's a liberal, right? That's this prototype. Then you got the dude next to him. He looks like he could be Israeli and whatnot. He's not straight European. He has some type of mixture and whatnot. He's another example of the liberal white. Then you have this Asian who looks ambiguously like a Caucasian Asian, right? She may be blended, right? This is another archetype of the Democrats. Then you got the baby boomer with the gray hair and a checker shirt and whatnot, dude with all of the white hair. You know, there's a lot of them. So these people just represent that that class of Democrat that I don't want to have nothing to do with. I don't have nothing in relations with these people and whatnot. But they have our people sucked in to their parties and whatnot. And these people right here doesn't have a lot in common with the people that I just showed you, other than this fake party affiliation. I promise you, moving 4 years forward, this Democratic Party, the way that you see it, will be completely changed and shifted. It is not going to stay the same. It is not going to, it's going to have some upheavals in it. Melanated people, if they know what is right for them, they will have their own party that they will be standing with moving forward and whatnot. So we could play this political game a lot better than how we've been playing it, because at the end of the day, the shit is a dog and pony show, as they showed you in this last theater, right? Which was horrible television. Okay. So these are the true winners right here. Like I said, the Zionists.
I am so disappointed and really insulted. I'm a Howard alum, and that she didn't have the decency to walk out and say something to her, to her university, make a comment to the United States. Things were not looking well for her. It wasn't completely over, but short of a miracle, we knew which way this was going. And that she didn't have some grace. I mean, it shows us how classless she actually is, a sore loser. And even though it's painful for her, for the Democrats, I think America might be relieved at recognizing and realizing they don't have to put up with this any longer. And if this is what they were walking into, maybe it's better that it gets, cut at the nip right now.
That was a profound statement coming from, that's like a final boss right here. You know what I'm talking about? Of the aunties. You know what I mean? This is a final boss auntie, and she said it out of her own mouth. She ate food. What they say? She ate down. You feel me? Auntie ate down and whatnot. And she said what needed to be said and what they were scared to say, and probably what they're contracted to, whereas they can't say it until after things like this. Yeah. She told her what needed to be said. Check this out.
Tears fall from my eyes like a gentle touch. Why do you FBA niggas hate me so much? Why are you so divisive? I thought you were my brother, man. Why do you call me a tether? Because I fled from the motherland.
I'm sorry. No! Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
I'm telling you, y'all, the mental health shit, bro. Go and hug your Democratic friends, bro. I'm telling you, be the bigger person and give them a hug. They need hugs out here. The crash out is real.
I personally think that if all of these men are going to stay on right today, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you got that through, guys. I personally think that if all of these men are going to stay on right today, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you got that through, guys. I personally think that if all of these men are going to stay on right today, they don't deserve to touch a woman for the next 4 years. So, hope you got that through, guys. I personally think that if all of these
I'm telling you, B, this shit got serious. It got real serious, man. Like, it's going crazy. But here's RFK showing up to the FDA headquarters.
Is anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to wait. I'm so stressed. How you can't look out into the world, into the people of this country and see what's happening. And how hard we're all fighting for rights not to be taken away from people. I go from hysterically crying 1 minute over the pain of this situation, and then hysterically crying the next minute, watching so many people come together and women from around the world supporting us and cheering us on. I am 48 years old and I have never experienced anything like this and never thought I would in this country. It's like I can feel the pain and the fear from every.
They said them taxes about 30. So yeah, Tasha K is on their ass. You know what I'm talking about? She said there was a ton of celebrities that took Kamala's money and convinced y'all to vote for her, but they went and secretly voted for Trump. Or better yet, they haven't even voted. Y'all was too busy watching them shake ass and stutter on stage. Remember, it's hard for them too. Tours and albums aren't selling like they used to. The entertainment industry is down for the first time in history. Watch the party die. Watch the party die. Watch the party die. You know? So they really had a lot of people thinking like, yeah, we doing it, girl. We gonna make it happen. We gonna pull through. Had people up to the wee hours of the morning. We are the world. To the wee hours of the morning. You know what I'm talking about? This line. I thought you were my brother. I thought you were my brother.
Else having a meltdown. I don't to the people of this country and from people us on. I can feel.
Like I said, some of the initiations even into consciousness was we did not do the political thing. That's something that we never got caught up in. So if you conscious and you caught up in the political trap, we gonna make fun of you. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know you not even living by the Constitution. And if you do have a political affiliation, you keep that shit to yourself. That's the rules, and it's gonna stay like that. So regardless of who you like, you know what I mean? That really has nothing to do, unless you are the politician yourself running for office, then that's a different thing. But or if the person running from office was in our community, yeah, that's another thing too. But yeah, we don't get involved with this theater. You know what I'm saying? We really don't. Y'all literally had a blatant racist in Joe Biden in the office, but you got the nerve to talk about a cotton field now. Go sit down, LOL. And that's a fact. He was a grand dragon. Literally, there's nothing to talk about. He's literally a grand dragon. He put more policy. He enacted more policy that did way more damage to melanated communities than Donald Trump. And that is a Snapple fact. This is Joe Biden. It's just the fact that he's old and meek right now. So people don't remember him talking greasy in the 90s. He was locked in with a grand dragon. You know what I mean? That was in the Senate. That was his guy. You know what I mean? So here's people's tweets. You know, Twitter meltdown after Kamala didn't come out. You know what I mean? We're just documenting history, right? This is the document of history.
Yeah, you know, and I want to say, speaking of immigration, Ohio was just called for Donald Trump as well. 17 electoral votes. That's not super surprising because J.D. Vance, of course, comes from Ohio. But I bring that up because some of the nastiest rhetoric we've heard about immigrants so far, I would say in a decade, was what they've said about folks in Springfield, what they alleged about folks in Springfield. So I just wanted to punctuate this moment with hate can still win in some of these states. But Aaron, what are you projecting overall? Will hate win or will love?
I mean, I think that is.
Will we turn the page?
I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, I am not going to sit up here and Nate Silver this thing. I'm not going to.
What's your gut say?
My gut says that it's going to be close and that we likely will not have a result tonight.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that there was cheating. That does not mean that anything has been stolen. It means that the votes are being counted. It means that millions and millions of Americans participated in this election, and we need to let democracy play out.
So yeah, that's what they was yakking about last night, leading up to the victory and everything. Um, so here goes the article that highlights that they surpassed $1 billion in fundraising. You feel me? $1 billion in fundraising, right? So when I saw that, I just was like, why we don't just go ahead and start raising funds, you know, because we know what situation we don't have. I don't want to get on the internet and waste no time trying to tell people about some type or put them in some type of fear mongering, because that's uncalled for at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Common sense should prevail. That there's time. You know what I mean? This is time to begin to have some conversations with each other about making some shit happen. So I said, what time is the emergency Black folks only Zoom call to raise $50 million to fix our hoods? Like, this is an honest question. Um, it's sad that you would have to call a meeting when people are literally with their backs against the wall and whatnot. It really is. But unfortunately, our people are so distracted, you know what I'm saying? So easily distracted that sometimes you have to utilize situations where they logic can make sense, both logic and reason. And then you got to be like, let's press the button. You feel me? And never turn back from this point on, because you don't have to turn back. You don't have to wait for the government to tell you that they care about you or that they're going to pick you out of millions of people and make you priority. No, that is not how it works. We saw for the past few months what they have to offer us, how much they resisted even speaking to us directly, and what they were telling us that they couldn't do for us. So the fact that they can't do for us, that should tell us that it's time to do for self, and it's time for us to do for us. And not only did I pose this question, but I also posed this question. I also said this, that Black folks are more organized, more focused, and way more disciplined under a Republican administration. And what that translates to is we could get more done under a Trump administration than we could get done under a Kamala, a Clinton, Obama, all of those administrations. Our people were lackadaisical and we did not apply ourselves because we didn't feel like we had like time was ticking and we didn't have any pressure. So resistance builds strength. You go to the gym and you resist and the weights and you build strength. You have retention that you're practicing, celibacy, and you resist and you build strength. You have urges and all type of quote unquote lower frequencies and urges and whatnot, and you resist that and you build strength. So we have a Christian nationalistic government that is going to be nasty and is going to be quote unquote very negative in terms of the way that they present themselves, and we will be that resistance. And by doing such and not necessarily assimilating or bending the knee and being absorbed into the bullshit, when you resist it, you're going to build up your strength. By resisting it, we avoid the shit. We don't pay it no attention. We don't give it energy. We just work on doing what we need to do and build what we need to build. We don't become gloatful. We don't become boastful. We just become focused and whatnot, because I know during the 2016 to 2020, I was sharp. I was focused. You feel me? I was on point. I was on duty. I was on my job. I was collecting crypto and all kind of stuff back then. So I'm not afraid. I'm not intimidated, and I'm damn sure not I'm damn sure not in my feelings that there's a Trump administration coming in into the play of things. Hell nah. Shit. Who want to work? Who want to work? Who especially black men who want to work? Who want to improve all of the people wrong that was trying to shit on us and make us seem like we was some type of like we was a help or something. I'm ready to prove people wrong because I took that shit personal. The hell? So yeah, here's an article that came out and it said that the Manoverse was the ones that won this election at the end of the day. The Manoverse. You feel me? The red pill movement is what it's called. Right? So they was like the Manoverse is where Trump had to go when it was all said and done to get lit. You know what I'm saying? He did that at the last stretch, right? He owes at least part of his 2024 presidential election victory to the manosphere, the amorphous assortment of influencers who are mostly young, exclusively male, and increasingly the drivers of the remaining online monoculture. So Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, Sneeko, Aiden Ross, all of that is the manosphere. Okay. And he ran through the manosphere to get his numbers up and to talk that talk and to connect with a whole new demographic that no politician were singling out and talking to. Nick Fuentes, Speedo, Gigi, and it even bleeds into Aiden, into whatchamacallit, Kai Cenat and things of that nature. Joe Rogan, Angry Man. You feel me? This is a movement. They called it the Red Pill movement, but it has nothing to do with me personally, Red Pillar. But it is a movement that was seeded by the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, right? And it has grown and mushroomed into a whole movement that has attachments to like the Passport Bros, you know, the Crypto Bros, and you said Angry Man started the Manosphere. Okay. Angry Man started the Manosphere, right? So that is becoming the same way in 2016. In 2016, for Donald Trump, it was 4chan. It was 8chan. It was 4chan. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Somebody said that he did not. We're gonna have to. Okay, Angry did not start it. It's been around. My bad. I'm gonna have to get some people who are quote unquote the experts or the connoisseurs of manosphere culture so we can have a show and they could break it down. You know what I mean? And they could break it down. So this is who they're saying that Donald Trump owes a large part of his presidency victory to. Okay. So they're giving them their credit and whatnot, which is really going to boost them up in the rankings and things of that nature. Advertising dollars, endorsements, you know what I mean? They're going to have some breakout stars and whatnot. Aiden Ross is going to be elevated as a result of his participation. And yeah, this is how that shit goes. So, you know, I've been saying this from the giddy up from the beginning that Homelander is Donald Trump, right? And I stick to that. And Homelander season finale, the last show, he showed you right there.
Like garbage.
So this is him and a black woman who her name is Sage. She's the smartest woman on the earth, right? She's a superhero, but she's a villain. He's a villain too. He is a part of that villain era. He's the villain superhero, right? He's the villain superhero. Somebody said the Amish, right? The Amish was helped him get in there, right? And he becomes a dictator. He goes, you know what I mean? He becomes a dictator. And what it is season finale is leading up to 2025. So literally everything that we've been seeing taking place in this season, right? Because this is all TV now. This is all television now. This is all this big stage. It's like the Truman Show. So this is the season finale of 2024. Big Meech is home. Young Thug comes home. These are all leading up to episode 10 of the season finale. And all of these things, these little things that are a part of the culture, are all leading up to the big season, the new season coming up. Like how The Boys was season 4 was all of the setup for season 5, which is going to be the last season. So all of these little things that are going on in the culture are just leading up to this new season that will start on Inauguration Day when he becomes the president. That's when a new season of whatever this shit is called starts. Okay? That's when it comes through. So let's see this is a clip from the season finale of The Boys with Homelander and Sister Sage.
Why would you do this?
To see if I could. Thank you. This was so much fun. Just, next time, listen to me.
Next time?
Oh, hells yeah, blonde ambition. Buckle up for phase 2.
Homelander speaking.
And that is why, as my first official act under Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution, I am declaring martial law and deputizing hundreds of superheroes nationwide who will report directly to Homelander himself.
Thank you, Mr. President. Victoria Newman. She's a great American and a dear, dear friend. Murdered in cold blood by deep state starlighters embedded in our own government. Now that we have full legal authority, a veritable army of superheroes will be called upon to rout these traitors from our government.
Same shit with Elon Musk. He'll be talking about, instead of superheroes, robots. Robots, right? They'll be unleashing these robots to rally up the villains, to rally up the deep state, to rally up the immigrants, to rally up the Venezuelans. So yeah, that's just a clips of it. Anybody who wants this MP4 that we have, if you hit up the Buy My Coffee, you know what I mean? Buy My Coffee, which I turned into Buy Me a Book, not Buy Me a Coffee, Buy Me a Book. Know the Ledger 444. You will be gifted with that MP4 and whatnot. That's a new way that we have to gift everybody who gifts us for supporting this channel and what it is that we do. Okay. This is what I do want to do. I want to open up the lines and I want people to pull up. You don't have to turn your camera on if you're camera shy, but I do want at least 3 or 4 people to give me some insight on how you see this whole season finale and what is on your mind in regards to this situation that that just took place. You understand? This whole situation. All right, let me drop this. Boom, that's your StreamYard link right here. Okay, I put it in the chat and you could pull up and come chop it up with us real quick before we get up out of here. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we're going to be all right. And another thing that I want to ask y'all, I'm doing a panel that is I'm doing a Zoom call. I'm going to do the Zoom call because when I threw it out there, people were like, yo, you should do the Zoom call. And I said, okay, shit, if that's what y'all want, then that's what I'm going to do. So people said, yeah, do the Zoom call. And they want to pull up. So I want to know from y'all, who do you think that we should have in the Zoom call when we bring different leaders together? I want to bring somebody from each one of the, what they call the schools of thought and knowledge. I want to bring the leaders like the Moores, Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites. I want to bring all of these people together so we could start planning on what are we going to do moving forward. I got somebody in the building. All right. How you pronounce that? How you pronounce your name?
Get on.
Tycoon status. What's good with you?
What's good, Ken?
Peace.
Shit. Well, I think this shit gonna play out. I think that particular program and shit gonna happen. You know, the Simpsons wasn't wrong yet. I think
Yes.
everybody gonna get his top pot soon. I don't know
Yes.
within his presidency. You feel me?
Yep. I feel you, bro.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say for sure.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, indeed. Moving forward. Who we have in the building? We want the family to pull up and let us know what are your thoughts on the selection, the /election, and how you gonna move forward in this next 4 years. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm getting a lot of good feedback for the people that I want us to bring onto the panel. All right. I'm taking notes. I will be taking notes. Okay. All right. Let me open up the line for India. We have India in the building. Peace.
Hey, peace. What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Indeed.
So my thoughts are that maybe it'll be a repeat of 2020.
Yes. In what way you say?
Maybe in all ways, like the the way that people felt like they were in a powder keg, but also in the aspect of like if you're a small business owner, you can kind of probably really blow.
Right. You could come up.
I think this is actually probably going to be a really good time for people with small business. Because I think he's going to give a lot of tax breaks for small businesses. Because he I want to say he did that, in his term previously. And I also think that right now I think obviously we're going to see like it's going to be a repeat. Like when the whole George Floyd thing happened and there was a lot of racial I guess animosity is going on, tension.
Yes,
We're probably going to see we're already kind of seeing a little bit of it. So it's going to be more of that. I just think it's going to really be a repeat of it. And I'm kind of excited because when that first term hit, I really wasn't prepared. And so now I feel like I'm more prepared on a financial level that I can really kind of get over the curb. So I'm kind of excited for it. I didn't vote for him, but I am excited for what could happen.
Right. Interesting. I appreciate that. I definitely do. I have a sense of enthusiasm as well,
But I also think there's some crazy shit that can happen. Like when you're talking about robots snatching people off the street, that kind of enters my mind a little bit too. But I try not to lean so much to the negative side of things because I feel like if you're in the right position, you can always win, no matter who's in office. Or, there's always people that are winning. So I don't like to live in this like fear monger state.
Right.
It's like for what?
It's debilitating.
Yeah.
It's debilitating. So many things can take place, but nothing has to. It doesn't have to fall on your desk.
Exactly. Like in 2020, I actually started a business, a holistic business. We talked about it a little bit, but with the magnets, remember? I think I told you.
How's that been going?
Yeah, that's been going really good actually. Like I'm doing reflexology now too. So I had just started it back then during that whole 2020 thing. So I'm like, now it's like I know people are gonna be stressed out because they're already stressed out. So I feel like, hey, I can capitalize off of that.
Right.
That's my perspective on it. So.
Right. People are gonna need help with their stress. They're gonna need help with their, their mental space.
Definitely.
They're gonna need help with their quote unquote, just with their energy work.
Definitely.
Stress is real.
Already people are already I don't know why, but I've been super disconnected from this whole election, like up until literally like vote day, but or election day. But I mean, it's kind of like what you've been talking about. Like this is a stage. You know what I mean? Like this is not. It's not that it's not real, but it's
Right.
like it's only as real as you make it for yourself with the
Right.
anxiety and the stress and like, oh my God,
All of
Kamala's
that.
not in, as if she was really doing anything anyway.
Right. The hell. And like I mean, for anybody who's undecided, I'm like that move of her not giving the defeat speech and not coming out, not showing her face to her people at Howard University.
That's not a
I'm
good
like,
look.
that's poor character. That just shows that
That's cowardice.
she couldn't be a leader.
Okay.
Because there's no leader that should be so emotional that they can't come out and have their people, their constituents, their troops see them. That's not how government works.
You're right about that. And I don't think there's any president that's ever done that. Or any candidate that's ever done that previously. Like not had something to say. Or didn't
Indeed.
address. I don't think we've ever seen that. But I'm kind of interested to see what's gonna happen. Because I'm looking at it from also like astrologically. Like when a Gemini comes into play, because I feel like Gemini is just chaotic energy anyway.
It is.
Right. So it was so many things chaotic happened when he was in the house. That wasn't all of course, all of his doing. Some of it was, some of it wasn't. And so I'm just like wondering like what all will take place while he's in the house. Like of his doing, if not of his doing, because shit, 2020 was like crazy. So
Well, you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to see, you will see it moving forward. And I would say that you are the creator of your own reality. So utilize a reality where you could create order out of chaos. And you can master being a chaos magician, like standing in the middle of it and being able to benefit from everything that's taking place around you as the alchemist.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel that. And I feel like honestly Trump is truly an alchemist. You know what I mean? I don't want to toot his horn because I'm definitely not a supporter. But
Right.
I mean,
But
really,
just the way that he
politics,
moves.
it's alchemy. Yeah.
Right. Straight
So,
alchemy.
Yeah, it's just a matter of not. I don't think anybody on your wavelength, like any of the followers that you have, I think all of us are pretty awoke to the fact that all of this is bullshit. But just in general, how much of the Black community has like kind of pandered and just like, oh my God, like that is a little bit like unsettling.
It is. And to be honest with you, narratives and conversations like this are always needed because we get wet every day. You feel me?
Yeah.
We do get wet. We get wet with everything that's going on in this echo chamber that we're in and whatnot. So it always is good to maintain some sort of communication so we could always establish narrative and have a collective conversation as to what's going on or as to what took place.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. So
Nah, you good. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you
sure.
for tapping in.
No problem.
I look forward to whatever else is coming up. We're gonna have some powerful shows in the near future. So I look forward to seeing you then.
All right, we'll do.
All right, peace. Yes, indeed, family. Let's have a word from our sponsors, and then we will be right back.
The ancestors watching, the master teachers teaching. The ancestors watching, the devil's met the block. The master teachers teaching. The ancestors watching, the devil's met the block. The star seeds got the clock. Talk back to me. Master teachers teaching. The the family. To the family. I'm not judging you, I'm just smudging you. It's surprise that you're surprised. The love teacher's teaching, the ancestors watching. The devil spent the bomb on the star seeds, got the drum. Talk back to me, the revolution getting digitized.
All right, we have new people in the building. We have some new guests in the building. Let me bring on the stage Indigo, Ether. Peace.
Ether. Peace. I met
Peace. Peace to the God.
Peace. You remember me from the Masters with the crystals?
Yes, I do. Peace to the God.
Yeah.
What's good with you?
What's good? I just felt like, you know what I'm saying, how everybody else saying, I feel like she really messed up when she brought that energy onto the stage when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, trying to appeal to only a certain demographic of people. You know what I mean? Like, she was only trying to appeal to the demographic of people that she thought was going to basically win her the election. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I think when she did that, that's when a lot of people started to see, like, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying, this is a setup. It's always a setup. You know what I mean?
It's always a setup because I feel the same way that you did. That she kind of had, she has something in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
She has something in the bag because in the beginning, that's why I say it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the race, they had her looking good out the gate, like, oh shit, and the momentum switched almost overnight in ways that I've never seen that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
She just got a force behind her, and then the debacle started happening. Atlanta was the first debacle with Meg Thee Stallion. That was the first debacle that showed rural America, right? Who are mostly conservative, even if they're not voting for Trump, they're still conservative. They're not with this progressive shit where, you know, and they're not with this anti-family, anti type of agenda. So they were like, wait a minute, you know, we trying to see somebody of we trying to look at you like a woman of prestige.
Yes.
And you bring in the damn celebrities, the B, not even the A-listers, the C-listers. So you putting C-listers on your level to deal with something such as serious as a damn campaign. You couldn't bring out goddamn Gladys Knight and run it. Like, come on now. So that kind of made people start looking at her, and the debacles with the interviews, I think, really did it. And then the response to the hurricane is how she lost North Carolina and Georgia, the damn swing states, because you not in the South doing no South shit. You at the goddamn state, but you twerking, but they had a hurricane and you didn't even show up.
Yeah.
You should have showed up with Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion. That would have been a flex.
Not to mention when the whole Jesus thing happened and she said this ain't the place for this.
Oh my goodness, thank you, my good brother. See, no, you lit.
Yeah.
That's what lost that's what began to lose the Christian evangelical underside. That's why they stayed home. She said you in the wrong place for that.
She said the wrong thing, bro.
Man.
Like, I'm like, yo, you know how much of a demographic is connected to what you just, you know what I'm saying, what you just did? Knowing you on national TV, you know what I'm saying?
That was one of the biggest, that's one of the biggest gaffes. They trying to say something else. No, when she told that person who basically they made a declaration, try to put God in the picture, she completely was like, nah, go down the block with that. That's not what we're doing over here.
Yeah.
And what the Republicans successfully did that the Democrats didn't do is they introduced what we would call conspiracy theory into politics, right? They made this whole thing about, oh no, that's the performers. All of them is on a Diddy list. this person, nah, they dealing with Satanism, and you know what I mean. They
Yeah.
did to the Democrats what you would think the Democrats would have done to the Republicans in other days and times. You know what I mean? So now the Republicans, the voters, are having way deeper conversations about like internet conspiracies and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. Like what's really floating on the media. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
now conspiracy theories and spirituality has taken up a big section of the media. You know what I mean? So
Right.
once he
Right.
brought
Big
once he
section.
brought once he brought that into his campaign, it basically made a whole lot like Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? Andrew Tate basically talks about the government. You know what I mean?
The
But
Matrix.
yeah, the Matrix type. But Donald Trump was still like in his like that was, you know what I'm saying, in his
The
lane
deep
type, you know
state.
what I mean?
Right. That's
Deep
still his
state,
lane.
you
Let
know
me
what I mean?
bring in the
So
other callers too. Let's make this a
okay.
panel. All right. We
Okay.
got Chris G and Steve.
All right.
Peace
Peace.
to the gods.
Okay.
All
Peace,
right.
peace, y'all.
Yo,
Peace, guys. How's everybody doing tonight?
How y'all doing today?
hey man, I can't complain, man. Appreciate you having us on the platform.
Yes, sir.
Indeed. We gotta hear everyone's voice. This is like a town hall meeting. This is a very important day in our history, moving forward and whatnot. As a collective, as a people, you know, we are entering into a new paradigm. I want to know from all three of you brothers, are you entrepreneurs as of yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are you feeling optimistic about the moving forward, seeing crypto begin to awaken and seeing the fact that a businessman, albeit, you know, what people may say about how he does business, but just knowing that a businessman is coming into the administration and whatnot, how does that make you feel as a black man doing business?
I mean, personally, I feel good about it just because number one, people got to remember America is technically a corporation. So on the world stage, it operates like a business, and there's a lot of trade and different things that's happening. So really, you want to have a person who has that kind of state in mind, who's also going to be respected by their enemies and by their allies on the world stage. So me
Yeah.
personally, I don't think it's a bad thing. And you know, I'm just not with the fear mongering for real. Like we already been through his presidency, and my thing is, if everything that people say they believe is the worst thing that's going to happen, so that means it's time to lock in. It's time to have real unity
Unity,
and stay
right.
on code. You know, so I'm saying I don't really see. I look at everything as like it can be an opportunity, good or bad. So I'm just looking at it from both sides of the coin. If it's good, that means the economy is going to be booming. It's up. We getting money. And then if it's not, it's like, okay, well, shit, we can create our own economy and do our own thing, especially as entrepreneurs.
That's a fact.
Indeed.
I'm
How you
feeling the
feel,
same.
Chris? Okay. In the God.
Yeah, I feel like yeah. So basically I do vending, I do street vending mostly every day, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the streets. And
Right.
when last time around when Trump was in presidency, it was a lot of basically traveling going on. And that traveling basically increased, you know what I'm saying, my business profit because I seen different people from different graphics. And it helped me like also get my name out there more during that time, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of transactions going on. And a lot of other people around me was doing good too. And everybody else was saying that, you know what I mean, as from a financial standpoint, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the way that the economy is ran, you know what I'm saying, how my brother was saying, it's all in the economy. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, America is built off money, you know what I mean? And the things that keep us, you know what I'm saying, survival and
Functioning. Right.
functioning is, you know what I'm saying, that currency, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the more currency that we could get, we could use that currency to basically do whatever we want with the currency as long as we getting the currency coming through, you know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Chris, how you feeling?
Oh, these government contracts about to be popping.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I knew Trump was gonna win because I started getting hit up for jobs. I'm in a tech space, so everybody started pinging me. My voicemail got filled up. So I'm like, oh yeah, he winning. He winning. They about to get money. So
Right.
yeah, all that cybersecurity, that's about to be the next wave again.
Yes, sir. We talked about that too. That good
Yeah,
cybersecurity. You know, I know I got a lot of KTLians out there that want to learn and get certified in some of these new quote unquote skill sets that the new millionaires is what they call them.
Yeah.
You know, and cybersecurity is at the top of the totem. We are going to have some future conversation. I promise you, moving forward, this is my promise to myself and the way that we transform in November during the Scorpio season. Like we're gonna turn I got two platforms. One is Know the Ledger and the other one is Know the Ledge. And one of them is gonna get turned completely into a facts initiative channel where we'll be talking about foods, art, clothing, technology, shelter, you know, on a weekly basis, just moving forward, really focusing on solutions, really focusing on people that are solution based, bringing new people to the stage and showing y'all that we are really out here doing it. I promise you. And you're going to see that really explode. It's going to 10x during this 4 years and whatnot, especially in the crypto space. For the people who've been holding and stacking and whatnot, your vacation and your holiday is on the way. The bull market is coming for you. Shout out to Chicago Crypto Block Bully. We got a lot of people that have been stacking gold and silver, precious coins and metals and whatnot. They day is coming. Um, it's just a lot of opportunity that's opening up. I feel good for our people, and I want our sisters to know that when we get our shit together, when we really get everything situated and we really stand strong, y'all are going to feel it's going to resonate. You know what I mean? Things are going to really start to fall into place because what this whole situation showed me is that if we don't have peace amongst one another, nothing is it doesn't even work. It's not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? They try to play us against one another, but that didn't work. You know what I mean? Even for the selection, when you look at the exit polls, you know, they can't blame us. You know,
Can I chime in on that real fast, Red? Because
yes, of course.
I don't like I'm from the Philly area. I'm like in the Philly suburbs. That's pretty much where I grew up my whole life, and part of my family's from North Philly, right? So one of the campaigns that was rolling out this way that I felt like definitely kind of swung PA, because if you notice, like Philly County and then where I'm at, Montgomery County, other places was
Yeah.
still kind of blue, but a lot of the rest of the state was not. The Amish came
It
out. It
went
was
red.
crazy.
Yeah, the Amos. Yep.
So with one of the campaigns, I think that we kept seeing YouTube, TV, all that. They basically was using like verbatim clips of Kamala, and she was saying like, "Oh, I'm for giving transgender surgery, all that stuff." And there's nothing against them, but we just talking about what resonates with the people, the voters, right? So
Right.
she was saying how she was all for that, and then they took another, soundbite and clip from, Breakfast Club, and they was talking about it and not liking how the tax dollars was being used, and then it was a Trump joint, so he was like, basically, she's for they, them, he's for you,
Right.
on the MAGA shit. So the thing about it is, what resonated is that okay, a lot of people is still, it's money being made out here. You can still be on your grind and do what you got to do, but at the same time, economy's different. Rent and mortgages is up, food prices, gas, different things. So they looking at it like, damn, y'all are misusing the money from the corporation of America and putting it where it don't really need to go on
Right.
our tax dollars while we out here grinding, trying to figure stuff out. So they like, yo, we not rocking with that. Because like you said, a lot of the people might even, vote blue, but at the end of the day, they still have a lot of conservative values. And when stuff gets tight, that's where, natural law kicks in. That's where your instincts kick in. You like, yo, what's really good for me and what's not. So I think that was one of the things. And I knew that marketing wasn't effective, bro. Somebody pulled up on me at the crib, and I'm like, damn, I got no Amazon, no business packages coming. This is the middle of Saturday, and
Right.
they doing, they still hitting the trail on the foot, like trying to, get people to come out. And at my old high school, they had Alicia Keys and Michelle Obama, so they were still doing. This was Saturday, mind you. So
Right.
I'm like, right. So the thing is, if you're doing it that late in the game, that lets me know you did not win a debate. You didn't win the people over. So you're scrambling. And then, it's crazy. They look like they saw a ghost. Like, black man come to the door. Oh, can we count on your vote? And I'm like,
Right.
nah. And they was like, oh, man. They saw a ghost. So it was
Right.
like, they ain't know what to do. So they just left.
Perfect. Yeah. When you called it out that they pulled the heavy hitters at the bottom of the ninth, right? The heavy hitters was supposed to come out right after the debate was won, right? That means that nobody was really on board with her. which also means that the media was fluffing the numbers and it was fluffing the hype because the hype didn't show up in real time. Then the celebrities that came out at the end of the campaign, coincidentally, all of them were on. They all have pictures with Diddy, and none of them looked like they were up there, like they really wanted to be there. Because when you really want to be there, you don't have to pay me to be there. Those people were benefactors of that $1 billion that she raised. They were cutting humongous checks for walkthroughs and performances and whatnot. You feel me? If
They
she
didn't do it
really,
smart.
huh?
I said they didn't even use the money smart because for real, when wasn't it earlier this year, Apple Music said that they thought Lauryn Hill's Miseducation was the best album of all time.
Yeah.
That's when you hit up a shorty like that who's always pro-black, positive message and stuff. You put, but her team is so disconnected from the culture, they didn't even know to do something like that.
Her team was, you could tell that they were zest monsters.
Yes,
You could tell what they were liberals. They were zest monsters, and they was them new kids, them new millennials, or what they call them. They did not know they were trying to connect her with Generation Z, Generation TikTok, and she just didn't have what it took to connect with them. Nobody was really connecting with her as a person. So it's not about her as a woman. It's not about her as not as being a pseudo Indian. It's just about her when it came down to it, not being able to be seen as a human. And it was so bad that somebody like Donald Trump, who people already got a whiff of him, like they were like, yo, we're willing to throw him away if y'all could give us something better. She dropped the ball. The ball was in her hand on mad occasions. She did not drive that shit to the rim. She did not execute. She didn't go for the kill. She thought that she had him because she bested him in that debate where she was giving mad assists with that earpiece and whatnot. You know what I mean? But like you said, you know, it's an eye opener. It's an eye opener. Our businesses collectively are going to prosper because of the economy that we exist in. We exist in the creator economy. We don't have to do some of the things that our parents did in order to make our assets stack and whatnot. There's always going to be something to speak about. There's always going to be something to teach about, and there's always going to be ways to make content. You know, and I'm very optimistic. I'm a positive. I have positive outlooks. I'm not going to fall into any type of reality that doesn't benefit, you know, me and mines and my progeny moving forward. You know what I mean? So I don't give a fuck if Trump is marching people off cliffs. You know, I ain't falling into that trap. I'm not going to and when these white people start banging on each other, that don't got nothing to do with us.
Right. See,
We start seeing Europeans wrestling and whatnot, and we think that they come. You know what I mean? We start taking shit personal. Listen,
we got to vote with our dollar better too, because one thing that I'm saying that's very upsetting to me is that all right, so for example, right, when the George Floyd thing was going crazy, right, you had people rioting, all these different things, right, and then you had people that was literally Starbucks employees. They just had a regular shirt underneath their smock. It wasn't even visible, but it was a BLM shirt. And I'm not saying, you know, the organization BLM is you know, for the culture, but just the point being is that a lot of white people, that was an eye opener for them, because all the stuff that they don't experience, they family, nobody experienced, and they couldn't really get where we was coming from. When you had that footage, right? It's a snuff tape, but they had the footage. They like, oh, this is what y'all was saying y'all was going through the whole time. Wow, we want to stand behind that. So now you had people that was in Starbucks, workers wearing that under their shirt, under their smock, right? BLM, George Floyd, all that stuff. What did Starbucks do? From the top down on the corporate level, they said, yo, if you take that shit off, if you wearing that, you fire. All different type of things is happening. So my thing is, as black people, we should have voted with our dollar to say, hold on, if y'all are going to be so arrogant to say somebody can't wear that underneath their uniform because they're just trying to say we're recognizing the plight that you're going through, we should have been like, yo, fuck them. We're going to make our own, not our own Starbucks. We're going to make our own companies, and we all support that and boycott them. But then what happened? The flip side. Then
See, what's interesting though, on the conservative side, I get a whole bunch of old white people in the contractor space, in the military. They did not. They was against Black Lives Matter altogether. It was a power struggle over do black people have problems or not. And the conversations was dumb, man. I just look at people with the side eye like, you're not gonna waste my time.
Right.
But I think the ultimate conclusion is controlling the black plight, which is what BLM did. Let's say the conscious teachers take over that narrative, then we actually get something worth time. But if we let the politicians control it, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing wrong with taking the money, but you gotta know what to do when you get it, because it's a flow, it's a currency. And what happens is we don't do that. We let somebody else do it. They end up buying mansions and cars, and we end up looking. The master teachers ain't getting the money they supposed to be getting. Realistically, I look at it like this: the master teachers should have been in the houses with the politicians, and in the houses with the artists, and in the houses with the creators, because when you think about what happened, regardless, the witches and all that on their side was in the houses with the creators, the politicians, so on and so forth. So our greater consciousness, our greater discernment pushed out the room so that their people was pushed in the room so they would control the discernment of things like Black Lives Matter. I lost friends over that shit. And I was like, y'all dumb enough to even care about George Floyd. Like, y'all got a black man still alive that's calling out for his mother, and y'all say nothing. But they put a camera on the dude, they got a knee on his neck. Now everybody want to cry. Come on now, that's the worst y'all ever been through. So I think certain people need to be in control in the background of the narrative. Certain people need to be in control of the foreground of the narrative. And once we take back our image, then we ain't gonna have Cardi B in all white with her shit to the side talking about, vote for Kamala Harris. Because that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. We need more intellectual black people inside of these, these spaces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And I agree with y'all saying, and that was my point, because what Starbucks ended up doing was, and they weren't sincere, what they ended up doing was, after they realized they was going to be on the wrong side of history with that, they tried to flip it and give a bullshit apology, and then they started selling BLM shirts on their site. So I'm like, hold on, how do you go from firing or letting people, dismissing them for the day for a movement you say you wasn't behind, but now you saying you can print these joints out and we gonna buy it from you? So that was my whole thing, is like, why are we letting them control the narrative and make money off of it when we can be doing our own thing? But at the same time, we could be bankrupting them to say, yo, just because y'all fucked up and y'all made the wrong statement, now what we're going to do is boycott y'all. So now from this point moving forward, we're not supporting the business no more. If you're owner, sell it, and then you put you circulate the black dollar into something that's ours. That was my whole thing. Because those same people that's complaining about, oh, Trump, this, that, and the third, I still see a lot of y'all with Starbucks coffee. So what are we talking about?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta get organized, but
We gotta get organized, man.
Can't talk about it on YouTube.
Right.
I've been waiting for the day to get all the people in one room. I got some shit that I got to hear that I gotta tell, but I can't.
I'm gonna just put it out here because we got everybody in the building. Building is packed.
Yeah.
This month of November, the Discord is coming back. My brother Chris G, who you see here on the panel with us, he's going to be one of the head mods and whatnot. We're gonna build a community off of this YouTube. You know what I mean? We have enough people already. We already got about 3,000 that was locked into the Netaverse on Discord. So we're gonna reactivate it and just start getting things going so we could share information, share a lot of things that we not being able to share, because I can't even put anything in the message on YouTube. They have a block on that. You can't treat it like a social network.
Right.
So it's time to build. You know what I mean? It's time to build. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful time. What a fucking time to be aligned. Everything is, the universe is conspiring for our success. Nothing that we see is not going according to plans, right? You said don't do Discord, do blockchain. I like that idea too. If you could send me a pop-in blockchain that's set up to where we could do it like the Discord, I'll be willing to entertain that as well. One of the things I love about Discord is when I began to interface with like Midjourney and things of that nature, you could put an app on Discord. You know what I mean?
Sense. Don't make suggestions you can't keep up with.
Yeah, indeed. So, but yeah, DJ, hit me up and let me know about that blockchain. But yeah, man, we are going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you, brothers, for pulling up. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for sharing your voices with the world and whatnot, and letting them know how you're thinking, because that's the most important thing, to impress our thoughts into the universe and whatnot in this very important time where our voices are deemed are being deemed to be non-efficient, or the fact, and I think that we are owed an apology because our voices, our minds, our vote, and just overall our presence should be treated the same way that anyone else's is. You know what I mean? It was egregious, some of the things that people were trying to get by this quote unquote election cycle in regards to the black man and how we play a part in the scheme of things. When did that change? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
when did that change? We
Too many voices.
yeah. So thank you for all of our sisters who was holding it down. Look, I had some sisters that were giving me some powerful information through this whole election cycle. They was in with none of the bullshit. They seen everything clearly, and they was standing on it. My whiz, she was
Shout out to
standing
them.
on business. She was calling that shit out from the gate. You know what I mean? So contrary to popular belief, our sisters are wide awake. They know what's going on. Angela Staten, there was a lot of people in the podcast world that was dropping gems and standing on their business and making just making a lot of sense. So shout out to y'all. Any last words that y'all want to leave the family with? Please do that.
Peace, family. I just wanted to say, it's ironic how like the presidential party elections are red and blue colors. You know what I'm saying? Just like the root and the you know what I'm saying, the third eye chakra. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I would just say, you know what I'm saying, be united. You know what I'm saying? Don't be split, basically, in consciousness. You know what I mean?
Word. I agree.
Yes, sir. That's all I gotta say. Tight.
Indeed. Salute. How about you, Steve?
Well, I appreciate you for having me on again. And last time I was on, Red, you was complimenting the artwork in the background. So we definitely need the link. So you could definitely, reach me right on the email, because I think I tried to hit you up, but I don't know if it was old email, whatever the case may be. So my email is info@muchintheclutch.com. It's spelled out just how it sounds.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm all for the solutions. I'm an entrepreneur. I definitely got my own thing going, and I do custom apparel, but I also help other brands get started and do whatever we got to do. So my whole thing is, a lot of the solutions we're waiting for government, we're waiting for everybody else to do for us. We have it within the network. It's just about us tapping in with one another and also us staying on code so that, like you said, we could bring the solutions together and we ain't got to worry about the election and stuff, because truth be told, if I never knew who the president was my entire life, my life would still probably be the same exactly as it is now.
That's right.
So I'm all about controlling what I can control versus waiting for the trickle down effect. So that's what I would suggest for everybody. I got my Malcolm X to you on today, so I definitely recommend for the family. If y'all never listened to the Ballad of the Bullet speech, that's mandatory, and I always give that a fresh listen every election cycle, because the stuff he said 60 years ago is relevant today.
Super
So what we
fact.
waiting for? We got to get on code and do the work. So that's what I'm about, the solution. So yeah.
Super facts. Super facts. Brother Chris.
To add to that, really, it's governance. It's the name of the game. That's what we lack. We don't have structure as a people. And I think we got to rely on those who have more experience. Less to do with age, more to do with experience and certain things and certain criteria. So we can start to spread out, our, better yet, unify what we know so that we have a collective body and everybody knows what role they play. Because the biggest problem I see with black men, I even see it in my brotherhoods, is people forget they role and then they start acting up. And you gotta check that. You know what I mean? That's how the narrative gets out of whack and black man becomes the weakest man ever. And all the other stuff that happens. So I say really it's governance. All we gotta do is get in control of our life, our story, our economy, our everything, and take back what's ours. Because we ain't never really lose it. We just, took a break.
Kind of forfeit it in a way, like put it down for a minute. You feel me? I totally agree. Governance, moving forward, we're going to have to treat each other and our quote unquote, our organizations and our networks with as much care and as much commitment as the Republicans are treating Trump. You know what I mean? We might even have to do it even more than what they're doing, but we could take a page out of that book. We have to be committed to something and agree that collectively we're going to stand on that regardless of anything. It won't sway us. We could learn. There was some lessons to be learned in this election cycle, even though it was scripted and it was theater. It's still the same way that you could watch a Netflix series and learn something. You
Right.
could learn from the scripted series, and they showed you if you stay strong behind. I don't give a fuck if it's bad theater and whatnot. Them goddamn trailer park people, they stood behind that man. You know what I mean? He was catching young thug Ricos and everything. And they was like, yo, we standing with him, whether wrong or strong. They was like, we standing there. And that unwavering support, you know, that's what made that whole shit turn red the way that it did. Like they literally washed this woman, you know what I mean? They took her to the cleaners, you know what I'm saying? Just in terms of she lost all of the swing states, you know. The Hispanics came out 45% for Trump. What is that saying? And then 16 million people didn't even vote in the Democratic Party. You know what I'm talking about? 16 million. You know what I mean? They knocked off a lot of people with the Jabberwocky, and they didn't even successfully implement bringing the immigrants to vote. So they flopped. They dropped the ball, and they took the biggest L. And you know, that's to me, that's the ancestors spanking them, because the Democrats are exactly that, the Democrats. And this is the year of exposure. So you can't make it. And like I said, this is just the build up to the real season finale, which is 2025. That's gonna be the banger. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the banger. So many seeds have been planted. The lead up to this big season coming, 2025. So Solar Maximus.
Yeah, completion.
Yes, indeed. Matter of fact, let me just pull this up before we get out of here. Remind the family that this show is also sponsored by this event that we have coming up, Super Sapiens, the return of the Super Sapiens, Solar Cycle 25, featuring the twin pillars, red pill and blue pill, on November the 22nd. We are going to come back, join forces, make the Wonder Twins activate, and we're going to be bringing y'all one for the ages. This is Solar Cycle 25, Rise of the Super Sapiens. The link is in the bio. Family, I want to say thank you. I appreciate everybody pulling up. We'll pull up tomorrow, Third Eye Thursdays. This is a early edition of Third Eye Thursdays, and we will have Third Eye Thursdays tomorrow and whatnot. So give thanks. All right. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Peace,
end
love, and
this
light.
Peace.
44 tops. Peace.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the legend, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the legend, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.